Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Very good.
Dandavat Pranam.
Love of praise. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sakada Mayam Dadadi Swapadandikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sakagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sakagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Namavom Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Desatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gauravakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Okay, welcome all. Confirm your speaking language. Say yes. Okay, so we'll just share.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Okay. So we completed the first part of the discussion in Canto 2, which is the first part where Parishit Maharaj is asking questions to which Sukadeva Goswami is answering. And in that answering, first he establishes the supremacy of Bhakti Yoga and the position of the Supreme Lord. He says, Hare Namanu Kirtanam. And he says the Lord can be realized in Bhagavan, Sarvatma, Hari. Right? So he said these are the three aspects Bhagavan realization will happen. And then he starts to answer about the Ashtanga Yoga process. That is where we are in the 16th sloka. Why he answers Ashtanga Yoga? Because in the arena where the discussion of Srimad Bhagavatam and is going on, you see many sages have got assembled or many personalities have got assembled. In that in the list of these personalities, just a second. There were few people who were Ashtanga yogis, right? So for them, he had to address what is Ashtanga yogi and how Bhakti yoga is superior and how Ashtanga yoga limitation on what the destination that you can reach. So all those things he established. That's why we are in this point where we're discussing about the position of Ashtanga yogi, and he is going to describe. Now, for a Bhakti yogi, this may not be of very high value and importance. But it is good to know this because the mistakes that we are performing in Bhakti Yoga, the understanding of the goal and destination of life is distorted in our life. Even though we are practicing Bhakti Yoga, but it is in a distorted manner. By understanding this, you will see that what corrections I need to make in my practices, and that way you can get much stronger. So that's where we are now. How Bhakti Yoga is supreme is an understanding from the sloka, the Brahman realization, the Paramatma realization, and Bhagavan realization. Now, unless one comes to the platform of Bhagavan realization, he will not be able to practice Bhakti Yoga. So now apply the reverse. If you are able to practice Bhakti Yoga, how are you practicing Bhakti Yoga? You are coming in direct contact with the deities. You are chanting the holy names of Krishna by understanding his form, his leela, his rupa, his pastimes, everything about the Lord, and then you're chanting the holy name. So you see, you're already in a stage where you want to exchange rasas with the Lord, mellows with the Lord. So, you see how our knowledge has been presented to us by our acharyas to practice bhakti yoga. So, it's very ripened state. Nigama kalpataror galitam. So, you see, Bhagavatam is offering the ripened fruit of the nectar, which is directly glorifying about the Lord. Now, if someone has come to this stage, that means understanding the personal aspects of the Lord. What Lord says, whoever knows my activities, pastimes, birth, and everything, he gets liberated. Okay? Janma karma chame divyam evam yoveti tatvataha. So now, if a jiva comes to close understanding about the personal aspects of the Lord, personal dealings of the Lord, he is able to establish the relationship with the Lord. That means look at his position. His position is crossed all the stages of impartial, improper realization. What happened to the Kumaras? Just by selling Tulsi, by smelling the Tulsi, they could understand the personal aspects of the Lord. Sukadeva Goswami, the speaker here, from Brahman realization, the impersonal Brahman realization, just by hearing Bharha Pitam Natavara, he understood, oh, the Lord has got a personal aspects, and that is the real goal of our life. So he moved away from that impersonal thoughts and he became a full-time practitioner of Bhagavatam. Right? So many examples are there. So you can see the position of a practicing devotee, a sadhaka bhakta, right, is phenomenal. He's reached the highest state. Now, I'll just give a comparative analysis. Now, let's say a person who's struggling in his material life, in poverty, in difficulty to even get the next meal. So that person somehow, he gets the mercy of another, a successful person. He understands the intricacies of this material economic world. He puts all the hard work, step by step, step by step, step by step. He reaches and he becomes a rich person. Now watch what I'm saying. With all the effort, he's reached that rich person. He's become a rich person now. So now he's saying, oh, what a journey I've gone through. I've gone through a journey of humiliation, defeat, depression, failures, suffering, and finally I've come to the state of comfort where I'm a rich man. Now, after becoming a rich man, what is he doing? Instead of consolidating his position, he's indulging himself in unwanted activities. Gambling, women, etc., etc. And thereby, once again, he loses his position. And that is what exactly we are in. So, as sadhaka bhaktas, we've reached an excellent position in releasing the Lord, the Bhagavan aspect of the Lord. Now, what we need to do, we have to consolidate our position, not to fall down further. So, consolidation is moving from a rule-based vidhis, Vaidic bhakti, to Raganuga bhakti. So, how do we move there? What should be the change of consciousness that we need to go through? What are the do's and don'ts? And that's what Bhagavatam is going to explain. So now in this sloka from 16th onwards when we're going to read, you will see when he is explaining the detailing of Ashtanga Yoga, then you will understand, oh God, so difficult it is. You want to realize something? If we are in that position, what will be our fate? Close to impossible. Better do what is given to us, what level of realization we have properly. And that should be the goal of our life. Okay? So now, this entire process of Ashtanga Yoga, he says the benefit of practice of yoga is what? One will get into fearlessness of death. A person who is not practicing anything, he is very fearful about death. Because the death may throw his position. That means, first of all, it will remove everything out of him, whatever he has. Second, it may throw him into a position where it will take many lifetimes for him to come out of it, many millions of lifetimes. So, in all put together, the death gives so much of fear to people. But a devotee is so confident. Why? Because he's already under the shelter of the Lord. These bottom planetary system, Patala Lokas, they do not cause any fear to devotees. Huh? When Lord Nrsimha came out of the pillar, who feared? Hiranyakashipu feared. The soldiers of Hiranyakashipu feared. But did Prahlad fear? No, he did not. So that's what Bhakti Yoga offers us. It gives us immense strength and fearlessness. And that fearlessness, when it directed towards love of God, it blossoms into a beautiful flower. That should be the way we should take it. Okay. So now what I've done is I have created an Excel sheet. Let me open this Excel sheet. Yeah. So where we can, understand these slokas, what do they mean, and how Ashtanga Yoga is explained. Okay. Are you able to see the screen? No, I'm still sharing this one here. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, good. So now, is it readable or still difficult? 20%. It's not possible.
It's readable, Prabhu.
But the size, I'm not getting. It's 50. Yeah, okay. Okay. So I hope you can read this now. Right? So Ashta Anga, right? Ashta Anga means body. Ashta means 8. So 8 stages with this body. You perform an activity in order to realize something.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
Can you make it a little big, Prabhu?
I'm not able to make it. Let's see.
Not possible.
Yeah, because see now I'm 150% zoom. If I make it, it goes only 200. It's not allowing me to edit any other percentage.
Too small. Anyway.
Okay, let me do one thing. I'll do this 200, but I will go like this.
This is okay, Prabhu.
Okay, I'll go like this.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay, so now in the Ashtanga Yoga, there are 8 stages. Totally 8 stages. In 8, it is divided into 2 parts, the 5 and 3. Okay, so the 5 first stages are preparation for performance of the meditative aspects. So the first 5 stages are preparation. The next 3 stages are actually performing the activity of meditation. Okay, so now let's see the list. In sloka number 2.1.16, he is going to talk about the first 3, yama, niyama, the do's and don'ts, and then asana. Okay, so asana is about asana means place of sitting, right? A sitting posture, right? So here sitting posture refers to get rid of all our material thoughts and activities and focus on the Supreme. Okay, so once let's say you're busy in your office and you had a very hard working day. Now you come back and then you're relaxing. Then you will see during the time of relaxing, you'll be able to think through and realize many, many aspects of your life. But you can't do that thinking or meditate while you're busy doing those activities. Okay, so that's what is asana about. Then pranayama and pratyahara. So pranayama, we'll go into the details. So up to pratyahara is all about preparation of ourselves in order to do the higher realms of meditation. So what are the 5 things? Yama, niyama, asana, pranayama and pratyahara. Right? So these are the 5 preparatory aspects of this Ashtanga Yoga. Then after you do this 5, then comes the next three. So what is the next three? The first stage is this, next three is in totality is called meditation. So in the meditation, the first step in meditation is dharana, right? So this is the, what do you say, like a neophyte. Neophyte means a college student, a newcomer, right? So in the dharana state, what does he meditate on? Once he realizes, so this is what I have to meditate on, then the next stage of meditation is dhyana. That means he goes deeper. When he goes deeper, he achieves a state of transcendence or trance, which is called samadhi, right? So we will see what is the state of samadhi that one will get to, and what will happen to that person. So we will see that we'll do an activity today. We'll do like a flow chart so that you'll understand. Okay, but the conclusion is the key today. What we're going to conclude on. Okay, now let's go to the details. Now you can read this sloka. You can read these slokas 1.16. So I'm just going to read the translation. One should leave home. So the first stage is called yama. Okay, so things to do and things not to do. Okay, so one should leave home and practice self-control. In a sacred place, you should bathe regularly and sit down in a lonely place duly sanctified. So this is the first sloka, that 1.16. It says, Graha pravachito dhiraha punyatirtha jaluplutaha saucha vivikta asino vidivat kalpitasane. So in yama, what is yama? To quit home so that we are coming out of this material attachment, right? So Prabhupada said you can quit home is possible in the previous ages because there were specific area of home, there was specific area of forest, and people said, I don't want all this material. What is material activities? Material activities is not just business. It is including your family. Attachment to family, attachment to material objects, attachment to any of those things. All these things are called material. Okay. So, if you want to get rid of material, the Shastra says go home. Now, there's no forest. Where do we go home? Wherever you go, you'll see you'll still be connected. So what do? We do a different process in our Bhakti Yoga practices. But this is for Ashtanga Yoga. Okay. So now let's look at the recommendation. Why it is said, quit home and get rid of material attachment. It says, bound by such hallucination. Hallucination means what? The kind of activities, kind of situations, kind of traumatic, kind of activities we get dragged into. This is called hallucination, which is not real. Materialistic men prepare various plans for a still more comfortable life. Oh God, the city that I was living is too much of traffic, too much of congestion. So let me go to a city which is more calmer and easier. I want to relax. That's what people think, right? Okay, I worked for 50, 60 years. Now I want to relax. I want to play golf. I want to meet with friends, have some nice time. That's my old age. That's what people join clubs and do all those things, right? So what Bhagavata says, because of hallucination, people go deeper into putting more aspects of comfortable life. Now what happens? Death suddenly comes. The cruel death comes, takes away every aspect of our life. Our position, our knowledge, our opulence, everything takes away. So whatever we desire we had to enjoy this, to do that, all gone. Okay, so we take another body. In another body, he has to repeat this entire cycle of this material activities and accumulation. Provided he got a human body. If he doesn't get a human body, then you will see what is the life of an animal, life of an insect, life of a bird, life of a tree. You can see for yourself what is the life. He will go through that aspects of the life. Right? So Bhagavata says, such a plant maker is thus forced to accept another body, which is one of the 84 lakh species of life, according to the activities and the consciousness is developed during the human body. Okay? So this is the conclusion. Now, what do we do in Krishna conscious life? We don't do any of these things. We automatically come into self-control. For example, a Grihastha is called Grihastha Brahmachari, where he's already practicing self-control. Okay. Then we avoid sense gratification. Okay. Even if there is sense gratification, it keeps reducing to lower and lower and lower. That means we don't feed the sense to keep gratifying them. Right? A devotee who's practicing bhakti yoga really, what he will do, he'll be detached. Says, yeah, I'm doing it for pleasure of the Lord, not for my pleasure. There's no fruitive benefit here. So there is external cleanliness and internal cleanliness, and he's able to control the mind. Right? So I'm just giving KC life as a contra as to what is referred in Ashtanga Yoga versus what is in KC life. Okay. So now let's look at niyama. Niyama means what? Keeping ourselves clean, saucham. Taking bath regularly, that is your external cleanliness, and internal cleanliness. Right? By chanting the holy name, by reciting the teachings of the Shad Goswamis, by following the 6 loving exchanges given to us by Rupa Goswami, we develop relationship among devotees. And by relationship, what do? We serve each other. We serve the Lord. We hear the glories of the Lord. So thereby we get internal purification. So external purification is by your taking bath, haircut, nail cut, achaman, all those things. Internal purification is association of devotees, hearing Krishna Katha. Right? So whatever is recommended in Niyama is already been practiced by us. Right? So here what does it say? Niyama? Oh, every day you should take bath. Keep yourself clean. Okay, then now what do you do? Then you sit down in asana posture. So you sit down in a posture in a very sacred place, in a sacred location. Then what do? You plan, you're getting prepared to begin your meditation. So here it says, therefore, to live apart from family life means to become self-controlled in regard to all senses, desires, especially sex desire. So I gave that example. After finishing all our office work and duties, we come back and we relax, and that is the time we are able to think about other aspects of our personal life. Similarly, here the yogi has already given away all his material activities. No more those material activities. Now his mind, he wants to keep it stable. After keeping it stable, he wants to start to focus on the Lord. So for this, he's making preparation. See, what is he doing? He says, the method is that one should have duly sanctified sitting place. First, I should sit in a good place, no disturbance. That place should be a place of pilgrimage, or at least a punya kshetra. And then he says, sitting place made of straw, deerskin carpet, and thus sitting on it, one should chant the holy name of the Lord without offenses. The whole process to drag the mind from material engagement and fix it on the lotus feet of the Lord. So that is the process. So now he is preparing himself with asana. So now you see the first 3 things are what are the do's, what are the don'ts, and how I'm getting from a bodily aspect. How do I get ready with my body? Because you have to use this body in order to connect with the Lord. Right? Okay. In Sloka 17, right? So let's see what it said in 17. Abhyasan manasa shuddham. Now I have to clean my mind. Okay. Trivid brahmaksharam param mano yachajita swaso brahma bijam avishmaram. After sitting in the above manner, make the mind remember the 3 transcendental letters. What? Om. So, Om in one meaning is not different from Lord Hari. So now I'm trying to remember the name, the form of the Lord Hari through that sound Om. Okay. So for which it is recommended, you have to control the mind. How do you control the mind? If you don't control the mind, then you will recite Om, but your mind will be processing material activities. So he says, no, I have to get the control mind. So to control the mind, to make the mind stable, the asana is recommending what is called the breathing process. Right? And that breathing process, pranayama. So when I start doing pranayama, what happens? The mind which is getting agitated will slow down its agitation and remain calm. So when the mind is calm, then I will be able to chant the letter Om. Right? So Om is now what? Hari. Is only Hari. So by chanting Om on a regular manner, what we will be able to do, we will be able to control or focus the mind on a particular activity or an object. So this is the fourth stage of preparation. What's the first? Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama. Okay. In the next sloka, Srimad Bhagavatam, it says, sloka number 18. Okay. Now in sloka number 18, you see, the mind has to be moved away from material transactions or material activities, and you have to spiritualize the mind. So the mind is connected to the gateways of this world. Okay, so the mind is connected to the vision, the visual aspects of this world through the eyes. The mind is getting connected to the sound aspect of this world through the ears. So these ears or the sense objects or the senses act as a gateway to the mind. They are the inputs to the mind. So now, you have to purify the senses. Now, the Shastra uses the word pratyahara. Pratyahara comes from, it uses the word ahara. What is ahara? Ahara means food. Now, what is the ahara for mouth, tongue? Is eating, food. What's ahara for eyes? Is vision, visual objects. What's ahara for ears? Is sound. So, ahara for nose? Smell. So, like that, you see, all senses, they are fed with certain aspects of material energy. Now, that is what is feeding the mind. So, now what does Pratyahara means? Now, withdraw all the senses from connecting to this material realm of this life. So, that means what? These senses will no more be engaged in any of the material energies. So, thereby, you see, the mind is becoming stable to focus on the Lord. Right? So, the understanding. Gradually, as the mind becomes progressively spiritualized, withdraw from its senses, and by intelligence, the senses are controlled. So, this can happen by your intelligence. Intelligence means what? I'm thinking, okay, now I should practice yoga process. I need to connect with my Lord. So, how do I do? The intelligence is telling the mind, go follow this yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, sit in a secluded place. Withdraw the senses. So the intelligence is what telling the mind. And the mind is acting on the senses. And together, this whole thing is working. Right? So now, what did you understood? Reject all the activities unfavorable. Accept that our activity is favorable. Then sit, clean yourself, take bath and sit in the right posture. Prepare yourself physically. Then first stable your mind by the breathing process. And next is pratyahara. Withdraw your senses so that the mind remains calm. Okay. So Sukadeva Goswami recommends. Sukadeva Goswami recommends the next step of Ashut policy, namely to fix one's mind in service of personality of Godhead Sri Krishna. Lord Krishna, the Supreme, also recommend this in direct process in the Bhagavad Gita. 6.47. 6.47, what sloka? Krishna says, Yoginam api sarvesam madgatena antaratmana. So who is called the best of the yogis? The yogis who fixed on me through his meditative process is considered to be a perfect yogi. Right? Now that yogi will remain in his divine consciousness, not in his material consciousness. Okay? So this is what we do in our Krishna conscious life also. Okay. So now we did the 5 stages of our practice. Now we are getting ready in order to practice the most important, which is the meditative aspects of it. Okay. Now let's look at the sloka 19. Yeah. Now, In the sloka 19, is talking about what is the process called dharana. Okay. Now let us look at these three stages called dharana, which is also called dharanasya, which is the object of meditation. What do we meditate on? Then dhyana is, so dharana is meditative on a higher, like for example, when you go in an aircraft, you see down, you will see all buildings like dots. They're all same only. You will not see any difference between any of those buildings from an aircraft. But when you get out from the aircraft, you go into seat, you'll see detailing. Hey, this building is taller, this building is wider, this building is colorful. Like that, you see the differences. So that means you are going deeper into details. So similarly, the difference between dharana and dharana is, yes, I'm going to fix on the Lord. But dhyana means we should go into details of the Lord, about his limbs, about his fingers, about his hands, legs, knees, navel, chest, neck, forehead, lips. So like that, I will go into every detail of the Lord. That means the meditative process adopted between dharana and dhyana is into more detailness. But dharana is in a what do you say, in a grossier level, just a form level. Okay, I'm just meditating on Lord Vishnu. That's it. Okay. Then samadhi is when you go into the detail, you go into trance. Just focus on your mind on those detailing. And by chanting the letter Om, you continuously meditate on the Lord. Now, what happens? Lord reveals. Here, the destination of a yogi is Brahman or Paramatma. Okay. So, according to the destination that he is anticipating or is wanting, the Lord will reveal that aspect of it to him. Okay. So now what do we do? For example, in devotees, what do they do? When they meditate through the chanting process. So every time when they chant, they remember those aksharas. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. When they detailness about their chanting, they're calling out the Lord. Oh Lord, you are non-different from the holy name, the Hare Krishna. Lord, my desire is to connect with you. My desire is to serve you. So please engage me in your Yogamaya potency, your divine energy, so that I can serve you. So who's divine energy? Srimati Radharani. So we are seeking the mercy of Srimati Radharani to serve Lord Krishna. Okay, so that's what the Hare Krishna mantra that we are practicing. Now, when we practice on a continuous basis, 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, what happens? Slowly, the Lord will reveal. Now, how are we doing? Now, for example, a devotee is going to practice every day. Every day, get up in the morning, chant your 16 rounds. Chant your rounds with a lot of love, with a lot of detailing. Then what happens? Slowly and slowly, the rules given by the Acharya, you should get up and do 16 rounds. You should eat prasadam. You should read books. You should remember the Lord. Like that, whatever rules has been given is not a natural instinct for us. Oh, my Guru Maharaj has told, I will do. Oh, my senior Vaishnava has told, I will do. So that means for now I'm forced to do that rules, but by practice of that rule, I get my natural love for the Lord. So from Vaidika Bhakti, we slowly transcend towards Raganuga Bhakti or Raga Bhakti. So from a rule-based practice of devotion, we are getting natural instinct, natural likeness to practice the same. Okay, so one is forced, one is out of love. So once a devotee moves to practice out of love rather than force, you will see he is already transcending the three modes of material nature. That's what you have to understand. So that's what samadhi means to a practicing devotee, and that's what samadhi means to Ashtanga yogi. Okay, so is this clear? Any questions so far? Okay, so who can answer? One volunteer. The 8 stages of Ashtanga Yoga. Who can answer that? Stage 1.
Is Yama. Yama, you have to quit.
Yama. What is Yama?
You have to quit the house.
That means quit unwanted activities. Okay. Then second Niyama.
Yama, you have to keep it clean. You should.
Accept good practices.
Yes. Yes.
Internal clean,
Accept
external
good
clean.
practices. Third,
Asana.
Asana.
asana. You should now calm yourself, get ready for the meditative aspect. Right? Okay. Then fourth,
Pranayama.
Pranayama.
pranayama. In pranayama, what do you do?
So you have to practice pranayama. The mind is calm.
Mind calm. So what is the technique that was adopted in Ashtanga Yoga to calm the mind?
Breathing process.
Breathing. Actually, in yoga also, what they teach today, when they breathe, you see the mind, right? The noticeable aspect is you will see your pulse rate, your heartbeat actually comes down by doing breath control, right? So same thing, right? Then after pranayama, what is the next fifth process?
Dharana.
No. What's the fifth?
Pratyahara.
Pratyahara.
So you
Pratyahara means what? My senses are connected to this material world.
Withdrawing all senses.
Yes, so I have to withdraw my senses. That is when my mind can stay focused. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. So what does ahara means? Here, what is the context of ahara?
All 5 senses.
No.
Eyes, nose,
No. What is
Sense
ahara?
objects, Prabhuji.
sense.
No. You are not listening. What is a like for ahara?
Ahara means food, Prabhu.
Food. Food for what?
Food for the sense.
Correct. So pratyahara means whatever the food for the senses, I'm withdrawing.
that's what they say. Sense objects.
No. You have to clearly specify. The food for the senses.
To be withdrawn.
Yes, correct. Okay. So when you withdraw the senses, the food for the sense objects also get withdrawn. That's what it means. That means we are no more connecting to this material world. Okay. So that's the 5 stages. What are the 5 first stages are called in totality? What are the 5 stages are called in totality?
Yama, Niyama.
No, preparatory stages.
Preparatory stages. Okay.
For what purpose?
To control ourselves and calm down our mind.
Meditative process.
To meditate on the Lord. Okay. The meditative process is the key for which I'm preparing myself. That's the 5 first stages. Then what are the next 3 stages? The 3 are called as meditative stages. The first stages in meditation is called?
Prabhu?
What is the first stage in the meditative stage called as?
Yama. First.
Yoga stage.
Dharana.
Dharana. Okay, what does dharana means? Dharana means meditating on the whole form of the Lord. Yeah, okay. That means in a consolidated form. We gave the example as watching a city from an airplane, where you'll see, okay, there is a city, but no details are there. Correct? Okay. What is stage number 7?
Dhyana.
Dhyana.
What is the difference between dhyana and dharana?
That is gross. But here you are focusing on the limbs of the Supreme.
What does it refers to? What does it refers to?
Seeing each and
Right.
everything very detailed as we get out
Very
from the
detailed.
plane.
Correct. Yes. So I saw the Lord from a distance. I just saw, okay, there is Lord. Now, seeing the Lord in detail, seeing his limbs, seeing his hands, seeing his legs, seeing his thighs, seeing his this one detailing, that is stage of dhyana. Okay, what is the stage of samadhi?
Mind becomes free from all sense objects.
Hmm?
And we should fix our thoughts upon Lord.
Fix our thoughts upon Lord, yes. So no more our mind or senses are disturbing us. We're able to fully meditate on the detailness of the Lord. And we go into a stage called trance. And that is called samadhi. Okay, so this is what is recommended by Sukadeva Goswami to all those people who are practicing, who are wanting to practice Ashtanga Yoga. Okay, which is complicated, right? So now what we'll do is we'll do a short exercise. I'll open another sheet here. Okay. So let me make it a little bit bigger. Okay. This also you're able to see?
Yes.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu.
Okay, good. So now we'll do this exercise. So be participators in this exercise. Okay. Now we'll go back to the sloka. We'll go to the sloka called sloka number 20. Okay. So let's first read the sloka from 20 to 23. Then we will see how to understand this. Okay. I'm sharing it. Sloka number 1.20. Rajastamobhyam akshiptam vimudam mana atmanah yache dharanaya dhiro hanti yatat kritam malam. One's mind is always agitated by the passionate mode of material nature. Okay, that means when we connect with this material nature, our mind gets agitated. Because the material nature itself is passionate. And what happens? And bewildered by the ignorant mode of nature. Because this material nature is ignorant. Why? Because of its absence of Krishna in it. But one can rectify such consumption by the relationship of Vishnu and thus become pacified by cleansing the dirty things created by them. So when we connect to material nature, we get agitated and our mind gets dirty, impurified. So when we move away from material nature and connect to the spiritual nature, then what happens? The mind gets pacified. So material nature connection gives us agitation, spiritual connection gives us pacification. And we calm down. Material connection gives us impurity into our mind, spiritual connection gives us purity into our mind. Right? So by the dharana process, now he's getting to detail of the meditation. Sukadeva Goswami, right? He's going to tell about dharana, dhyana, samadhi. So by the process of dharana, what are we doing? We are first making the mind calm down from an agitative mode to a pacified mode. By impurity of the mind, we are getting purity of the mind. So that's what he says in sloka number 19. Sloka number 20. Okay. Now let's look at sloka number 21. Now, this yogi who is practicing Ashtanga Yogi, he is now practicing dharana. Now, with dharana, he will be able to see the Lord. Why? Because now he is already pacified. He is focusing on the Lord, chanting the name Om. He will be able to see the Lord. That means the Lord reveals to that yogi. Okay. Yasham sandaryamanayam yogina bhakti lakshanaha asu sampadyate yoga ashrayam badram ikshataha. O king, by the system of remembrance and being fixed in the habit of seeing all good personal conceptions of the Lord, one can very soon attain devotion service to the Lord under direction. Right? So 21 is the result of activity of 20. So by 20, what is he doing? He is withdrawing himself from material activities, which is full of agitation, and he is connecting to the spiritual realm, which is full of pacification. From impurity of the mind because of material association, he is purifying his mind because of his connection to spiritual realm. So that's what he's doing. By doing this, what happens? Very soon attain devotion service to the Lord under his direct shelter. That means he will be able to come to the platform of devotion. Okay. Now look at the aspect. The Kumaras, in the original state, they were very agitated. When they came to the Vaikuntha, the gates of Vaikuntha, just because they were not given the permission to enter in the last seventh dwar by Jai and Vijay, they got agitated. The agitated mind, what does it do? It curses. See, cursing, anger, passionate, all these things are impurifications of the mind. Okay. Now what happened to them? The Lord came seeing that there is trouble. The Lord came, but when they saw the Lord, the tulsi and the lotus feet of the Lord, the fragrance of tulsi, what happened to them? It cleansed their heart. That means, you see, the mind which was agitated and impure became pacified and pure, and they realized their mistake, what they've done. Right? So this is a classical example to understand how the mind can change. Okay. So now let's go to the next sloka, which is 22. Now here Parikshit Maharaj is asking. He's going to ask this question. Oh my Lord. I mean, here my Lord refers to Sukadeva Goswami. He's asking then, what are the aspects of, this practice of dharana? What happens to the mind? So he's going to ask three questions here. Now let's see those three questions. Okay. Rajovacha yata sandaryate brahman dharana yatra sammata yadrishiva haretasu purusasya manomalam. So manomala means dirty, right? So manomala means how the dirty things in the mind gets purified. And, so he's asking three questions. What are three questions? So first is the steps to accomplish dharana, the stage of dharana. Okay. The second question is practice of dharana or dharanasya? Dharanasya means practice of dharana on a object of meditation. So is practice of dharana is going to yield success? Will the mind get purified? So he's asking these questions, right? So sloka number 22 is asking these two questions because time immemorial, the living entity has been in contact with the material energy. And because of this material energy contact, the mind is fully impurified. The mind is fully impurified and it's very agitated. And it's very passionate and ignorant in nature. Do you believe, or can you please guide me, if this practice of dharanasya will actually purify the mind? Will it yield that result? Will I be able to achieve the devotion to the Lord? Is the question he's asking. For which now he is going to answer in sloka number 123. Okay. So the sloka 123, 124, 125, we will just read the sloka and the text. Then we'll go into an activity now. Okay. Shri Sukavacha Jitasano Jitaswaso Jitasango Jitendriya Stule Bhagavato Rupe Manas Sandarya Diya. So look at these words. Jita asana, controlling sitting posture. That means we are purifying our sitting posture. Jita swasa, controlling the breathing process. That means the improper aspect of the breathing is now controlled. Jita sangha, controlled association. No more association with unwanted people. Family, non-devotees basically. Jitendriya, then all my senses are also controlled now. Stule, in from gross matter. Bhagavata, unto personality of God. That means I am moving from these material elements on to the Supreme Lord. In the future, Rupa, in the future, Mana, the mind, Sandarita, must apply the above intelligence. So, by the knowledge, I'm able to control the mind and divert from material objects to spiritual realm. Right? So, that's sloka number 23. Now, we'll see what does this mean in detail now. Sukadeva Goswami answered, one should control the sitting posture, regulate the breathing process by the yogic pranayama, and thus control the mind and senses, and with intelligence, apply the mind to gross potencies of the Lord called Virata. So now he is telling, because this yogi is impure, his mind is agitated, he should focus on the Virata Rupa, that means the Vishwarupa form of the Lord. Right? Now go back to Bhagavad Gita in chapter 11. When the Lord showed, when Arjuna is asking Krishna, Krishna, who are you? How do I understand your potencies? How do I understand your greatness? What did Lord do? Lord showed the Vishwarupa. And in the Vishwarupa, he showed all aspects of this material world. He also showed Kala Chakra, time. How with time the whole things will change. So then Arjuna said, no, 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 I cannot comprehend this. I cannot understand this. For me, your 200 form of yours, Shyamasundara, is what I can relate to. So this is very aghast for me. So you please take it away. I don't want this. And he was fully satisfied by seeing the 200 form of the Lord, the Parsarthi who was standing in front of him. Now you see, Arjuna is not in the platform of Brahman or Paramatma realization. He is in the platform of Bhagavan realization. That's why he was able to accept only the personal 200 form of the Lord. But here, Sukadeva Goswami is telling, someone who's come new to this platform of spirituality is trying to say, okay, I think I want to practice some aspect of spirituality. I want to practice yoga. For him, the first step is to accept the Virat Rupa or to meditate on the Vishwarupa form of the Lord. See why? Because for him, if you say Paramatma, where does he exist? I can't see him only. He is in the heart, but how can I know that? Even if I do the surgery, can I see him? So it means no trust. He doesn't believe. If you tell him Bhagavan, where is Bhagavan? Where I can see him? Or what you have in the temple is all stones. Anyone can take a stone and then give it a shape and keep it there. So you see, there is no realization and there is no faith. So for such a person, for such a yogi, Sukadeva Goswami is recommending that you focus on the Virat Rupa of the Lord. Now, in Dharana stage, what is recommended? Focus on the full form of the Lord. That means you are basically equating. Okay, this refers to Lord, like that you're going to equate. And now he says, in Dhyana stage, what? You're going to detail every angas of the Lord. So for now, he is going to say, because you can't understand the spiritual realm, in the material realm, starting from Brahma Loka all the way to the Patal Lokas, every Loka, what does it refers to? And he's telling the details so that they can understand, oh, this Rasatala refers to the thighs of the Lord. This earthly Paramarthya Loka refers to the hip of the Lord. Oh, like that, he's trying to give the frame, right? So, Dharana and Dhyana, we're going to go into detail now, and that is what he's going to do. Okay. So, now what we will do is we'll do a small exercise now. Okay. So, let's do this sharing. Okay. Now we are able to see this screen.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. So, what is the, okay, let's write the first stage here. What is the first stage in Ashtanga Yoga?
Yama.
Yama.
First stage is Yama. Then from Yama, he goes to
Yama.
Niyama.
Niyama.
Yama. You should think and answer. If you don't know, you should not answer. But if you answer, you should answer correctly. Don't be in urgency. Wait, think, and answer properly. Okay. So after Niyama, it is
Asana.
Asana.
Asana. Very good.
Okay.
After Asana,
Pranayama.
Pranayama.
Pranayama. Okay. Now after Pranayama,
Pratyahara.
after this thing, you're going to Pratyahara. Okay. Now, after Pratyahara, you in the first stage you're going to lead is called Dharana. Okay. So in Dharana, what did we learn? We learned that in the Dharana stage, there are two possibilities. So what I'll do is I'll move Dharana here a little bit here. Okay. There are two possibilities. One is, after Pratyahara, you may say, yes, my mind is purified. Okay. Or you can say, no, I'll move this here. My mind is purified. No, I'm not purified. So in an impure state, you cannot still realize the Lord. Only in a pure state, you can realize the Lord. So, I'm not purified. So then what does the Dharana refers to here? What does Sukadeva Goswami ask us to remember? Dharana state, meditate on
Lord.
Vishwarupa.
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 So please think and answer. Don't give wrong answers. Virat Rupa of the Lord. Correct? So he said, if you are no, that means after Pratyahara, if your mind is not purified, what do? You go into Dharana state, but that Dharana state is meditated on the Virat Rupa of the Lord. Okay. Now, if a yogi says, no, by practice of Pratyahara, by withdrawal of my senses, I see that I'm no more affected by the material transactions or material energies. I'm in a purified state. So, this Dharana, what you will meditate on? You'll meditate.
The limbs of that.
Details of the lips.
What he will meditate? He will meditate on the Paramatma.
Paramatma.
Prabhu?
If
Paramatma.
he is purified, he goes to the next stage where he is able to meditate on Paramatma. So after Virat Rupa is where the limbs of the Lord comes. Here. Here, his mind is purified. Read the sloka, what we referred to. It said, by practice of purification, one will be able to slowly get into the platform of devotion, right? And his destination is Paramatma. So in the Dharana state, if his mind is purified, he will meditate on the Paramatma of the Lord. Okay? Then he'll go to Dhyana. Then he will reach Samadhi. After Samadhi, he will go into liberation. Correct? So this is the stage of his liberation. Now, what sort of liberation he'll get? In the Ashtanga Yogi, he'll get Brahman realization. Okay, after Brahman realization, how does he do that? What does an Ashtanga Yogi do that? So we have what is called as Pundra here, the skull, which is the entry point for the soul to enter this body. And then we have Shat Chakras, right? So what does he do? By the practice of the movement of the chakras, he slowly navigates the soul, which is sitting in the heart, soul through the prana chakras, and gets it and focuses on the forehead. After focusing on the forehead, by continuously practicing the state of samadhi, he is able to take the soul, the living force, through the skull. The skull will crack open and come out. And that is his liberation. And that liberation, where he will reach the Brahman state. So the impersonal Brahman is what he will reach as the final destination. Okay. Is this clear now?
Yes, Prabhu.
Is it clear how he reaches liberation? And what liberation he'll reach? Impersonal Brahman.
Impersonal Brahman.
That's the liberation he'll reach. So this is for a yogi where after Pratyahara, he said that his mind is purified. He felt his mind is purified. He is able to realize the Lord, practice of devotion in this manner. Then he reaches these states. Okay. Now we'll talk about someone who is not purified after Pratyahara. So what is recommended? What does Sukadeva Goswami recommend? He recommends him to meditate on the Virat Rupa of the Lord. Okay. So now, after meditating on Virat Rupa, there are two possibilities. One, he may get purified because his meditation is perfect. His posture, bodily posture, meditation is perfect on the Virat Rupa of the Lord. So the Lord may give him that reciprocation, by which he will come here to again come to this stage. So I'll put an arrow here. Okay, so from here, there's a possibility that he can come here also. Okay, let me change the color of this arrow so that yeah. So now let me ask this question. Close window. Okay. So let me ask this question. When will this red arrow get activated? When will a devotee or a yogi will move from the Virat Rupa of realization into this Paramatma meditation.
And he gets more faith. on
Now,
Lord
when the
and
mind is purified.
mind is purified.
Okay. So in this mind, so let's put it like this. I'll say not if mind is purified, then I will move this arrow here. Okay. So he will go here. Now I'll take the situation if mind is not purified. Then what does he do? He has to go into the angas of the Lord, the detailing, right? So where it is called Brahma.
Jnana.
Okay, where it's called Brahma Mukti. So where you will see the description of the planetary system right from the Patal Lokas. So we'll see that sloka also now. Okay. Okay. So now this is the sloka which refers to. It says Patalam etasya hi padamulam patanti parshni prapadera sattalam mahattalam vishwasrijo ata gulpao talatalam vai purushasya jange. He says, persons who have realized it have studied that the planets known as Patala constitute the bottom of the feet of the universal Lord. And the heels and the toes are the Rasatalas. And the ankles are the Mahatala planets. And the shanks. Shanks means we have calf muscles, no? That is, where is calf muscle existing? Calf muscle is existing between ankle of the Lord, ankle of our leg to the knee of the leg.
Knee of the leg.
So the portion in between the ankle to knee is called shank. Okay. So shanks constitutes the Talatala planets. So now we have 14 planetary system. So he is going from the last, the Patala Loka. So from Patala Loka, he is coming to Rasatala. From Rasatala, he is coming to Mahatala. Mahatala is coming to Talatala. So what does Patala refers to?
Feet of the
Bottom of the feet.
Okay. Then what does Rasatala refers to?
Heels and
Calf.
toes.
Heels and toes, the detailing. Okay. Then what does ankles refer to?
Mahatala.
Mahatala. And what does shanks refer to?
Talatala.
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 So now, first he started in the Dharana stage, he started with the meditation on the form of the Lord, the Virat Rupa form of the Lord. He got purified, then he'll meditate on the Paramatma, and he will go into Dhyana Samadhi, he'll go into that impersonal liberation, he'll get liberated. Now he's not purified. So one more step is added now. That step is here. Whereas requesting it all on multiple center. Okay. So where in the Kramamurti, where each planets out of the 14 are connected to to various anga of the Lord. Okay, so thereby, by meditating on those angas of the Lord, slowly he'll come into this same state of liberation. So first he has to understand the 14 planetary system and what are the 14 angas of the Lord. Right? Then after that, by constant meditation through those practices, by the mercy of Lord Brahma, the 5 elements, the 5 gross elements, earth, fire, water, air, ether. Okay. So he will be able to realize that and cross that. Then after that, the subtle elements, false ego, he will cross the false ego. That means he'll pierce the false ego. How the creation happened? Creation happened through Pradhana, Mahatattva, false ego, then the 5 gross elements, and these elements happened. So he'll do the reverse process. right? The five gross elements, he'll pierce the false ego, then he'll pierce the Mahatattva, then he'll pierce the Pradhana. And then finally he'll get liberation. So this is the position of a Ashtanga Yogi. Okay? So is this clear so far? Or very complex to understand?
Somewhat.
Somewhat, right? So we'll just summarize today what we learned today. Sukadeva Goswami talked about Ashtanga Yoga because in the arena, many Ashtanga Yogis were there. In order to give them the clarity, he gave this detailing. Now, Harinamanu Kirtanam is what he said as conclusion for all the practitioners of Bhakti Yoga. But who cannot practice Harinamanu Kirtanam, who are in the Ashtanga Yoga process, he talked about these methods. He said one has to get into the 5 preparatory methods so that he can focus on the Lord. After that, if his mind is not purified, those are Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara. After all the withdrawal of the senses, mind control and everything, still he feels that mind is not purified. He goes into the process of dharana, where the first stage of dharana is to meditate on the Virat Rupa of the Lord. Then the second stage of the mind is to go into the detailing. So I can't understand the Lord now because mind is impurified. So what he says, you just say there's a material element consists of 14 planetary system, and each of the planetary system refers to one aspect, one body of the Lord. Like that you meditate is what he's saying. He can't see it, but he's telling assume and meditate. By that meditating, slowly he'll be able to see, yes, oh, this is how the planetary system are constructed. Above this planetary system is all about the 5 elements and the false ego, the Mahatattva and the Pradhana. So after that, he'll get liberation. So this is for the people whose mind is not purified. For the people whose mind is purified, what he said, the process is straight away going to go to dhyana and meditate on the Paramatma. By deeper meditation, he will go into dhyana stage and reach the stage of trance. In the stage of trance, he'll be able to navigate his prana chakras, move the soul to the forehead, and by meditation on samadhi from the forehead, he can liberate the soul through the skull. And he'll get what is called as impersonal liberation. Okay? This is the stage for path for a successful Ashtanga Yogi. Okay? So this is discussed for you to understand how difficult for someone to get liberation. But what does Mahaprabhu say? Don't go into all these things. Just chant the holy name of Krishna. By his causeless mercy, he'll make you remember at the end of your life, take you back home, back to God. See how easy the method has been given to us. So the key take home for us is the meditative aspects in the Bhakti Yoga practice is very, very important. If you're doing Shravanam, please pay attention and hear Shravanam. Do not do Shravanam in a very haphazard manner, in a very improper manner. Watching a mobile, keeping your mind somewhere else, doing some processing, playing with the children. Don't do all these things. Give a dedicated time, hear Shravanam. Second, Kirtanam. When you want to chant, chant with a lot of love, with a lot of focus. Don't chant for the heck of it. That is a great meditative prayer. You meditate on the Bhagavan aspect of the Lord. Right? When you chant, you're actually taking the shelter of the divine energy. So give your full, throttle while you're doing your Kirtanam. By doing this Shravanam and Kirtanam, you will be able to see that you're able to remember the Lord in every aspect of your life. By constantly remembering the Lord, constantly remembering his pastimes, constantly remembering his instruction, you will see that you may be externally present in this material world, but in your heart, you're already in the state of samadhi. This liberation that the devotee practices reaches the Bhagavan realization. That means he'll go back home, back to Godhead in Krishna Loka or Goloka. So that is the destination of a devotee. So the process adopted is parallelly same, but your destination is different. and your detailing of your activity is different. That's what you have to do. Is this clear? Hare Krishna. Can
Yes,
Can each of you lift your hand? Whoever is not able to understand this, can you just lift your hand? You don't know how to lift your hand? If you did not understand, you lift your hand. If you understood, you don't need to lift your hand. I want to see how many of you understood, how many of you not understood. Okay, we have one who not understood. They need more detailing then. So looks like all others have understood.
I was not attentive, Prabhu. I will go through the whole lecture because it is mental block was there. I'll go through once again and ask you questions, Prabhu.
Okay. Okay. Then others? Anyone else who did not understand? Mataji was naive that she accepted it.
Prabhu, I could not understand few parts now, Prabhu.
Okay, so do one thing. Let's do one thing. Now, what will you read? Now, first of all, what I want you to do is, I want each of you to go through this purports. You have to read purports from 2.1.16 to 2.1.25. Okay. So, till 25 you read, then you will see how much you're able to understand, how much not able to understand. After reading the purports, you pose your question in this group. This is not clear, that's not clear. I will quote some examples and write an explanation to make you understand. We'll do that exercise so that you learn this subject in depth.
Sure, Prabhu.
Ashtanga Yoga is not what we practice, but it's important to know that how other processes are so complicated and difficult. We are in such a merciful, lucky position that we are able to practice this. So that is the take home for us. So what we need to do? We need to nicely practice Vaidika Bhakti, slowly transcend to Raga Bhakti. And that should be the goal of all. Okay?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I have a question.
Yes, Mataji.
We are practicing Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and it becomes, for a long time, if we are practicing, it becomes automatically that record is going on inside continuously. What
Okay.
stage it is, Prabhuji?
It is still in the starting stages only because whatever you are internally will also be demonstrated externally. Okay. So, for example, if your love for Lord has manifested internally, it will also demonstrate your behavior externally. Okay. You cannot have, Prabhu, I am internally fully realized, but externally you cannot show indifferent in your behavior. Right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
You will also show external behavior. We can easily measure your dedication for the classes, dedication for your services, dedication for the subject, love that you demonstrate, how you deal with devotees, what you do, what you don't do, easily can be understood. So from external, we can understand what is your internal consciousness. Okay, Mataji?
Okay, Prabhuji. Okay.
Prabhu, that
Thank you.
in the tabular column, can you share, Prabhu?
Yes, all these things I'll share this tabular column. And what I'll do is this sheet which I put now, I will draw it in a much more nice manner. And I will send it to you after drawing this. I'll put it in a PowerPoint sheet, one sheet PDF, and then I'll send it all off to you. So you can keep it for your future reference that if someone challenges Ashtanga Yoga or maybe for your own education purpose or a preaching purpose, you can use this document.
Okay.
Okay, good. Any other questions for today? So we already have given about some 5, 6, 7 slokas. So this our training department team can publish those slokas in the group so that it will act as reminders for people to mark them up.
Practice, memorize.
4 slokas only. 2.1, 5, 6, and 11. 4 slokas.
Whatever it may be, just publish them.
Yes, Prabhu.
Let people can be reminded, okay, I have to do, because our next class will be completing chapter 1. And once chapter 1 is done, immediately there will be sloka recitation and quiz. Quiz will be it'll be like a 1-page examination where it will be sent to all of you. You can do the examination at your home and just submit your answer sheets. Okay?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, so from chapter 2 onwards, we will be marking attendance for all the devotees. So don't miss your attendance. You need to maintain a minimum of 75%. And the one class that you miss in a month, you should connect with a co-devotee and ensure that you learn what is being discussed there. Okay. Thank you. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Guru ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande.
Hare
Hari
Hare.
Hari
Hari
Bol.
Taru
Thank you.
Krishna Kripa Sindhu Devacha. Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Vaishnava Thakur Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Om Tat Sat. Thank you.
That's it. Hare Krishna.
100 pranam, Prabhu.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji. Very
Dandavat pranam, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhu, Dandavat
Krishna,
Pranam. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam Prabhu.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat. I'm ending the class here. Okay.